2024 Canada Immigration Policy. Hi, my friends. It's me, Bald Eagle flying high. My issues are mainly about immigration policies. Just like why and how to immigrate. Where should you migrate to? Those who are interested in the developed world outside and looking for immigration methods sincerely, please search and follow me so that you can find useful immigration information about dozens of countries on my channel, and I'll continuously update the latest and useful immigration information timely. Your messages, forwarding, and following will be my greatest motivation to continue creating. Thank you all. Today's topic is the immigration policies and methods of Canada. Full name: the Dominion of Canada. As of April 2024, the total population is more than 39.2 million. With a per capita GDP of over $52.7 thousand, and English and French is generally the official language. Also, it is one of the members of the Commonwealth. Up to now, within the total 198 countries, excluding regions, on Earth, the Canada passport ranks 7th in the world in terms of visa-free quantity in 172 countries, including 118 visa-free countries, 47 landing visas and 7 electronic travel documents. My personal main impression of Canada is beautiful red maple leaves, snow, 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 very cold, a large country with relatively sparse population, French-speaking province of Quebec, once burned down the White House of the United States, a sister country of the United States now, open border with the United States. Have you ever been to Canada? What is your impression of Canada? Can you share it with everyone in the comments section? Thank you for your kindness. 1. The main methods of Canada immigration. 1. Prince Edward Island Program, PEI. The Prince Edward Island Provincial Nominee Program, Business Impact Category, is a permanent residence permit granted to entrepreneurs, together with their dependents, who start or purchase a business in the state of Prince Edward Island, Canada. There are 3 pathways to permanent residency. Through the Business Impact Category of the Prince Edward Island Provincial Nominee Program, the 100% ownership stream, the partial ownership stream, and the work permit stream. You must obtain at least 50 points on a business impact assessment to be nominated to qualify for any of these programs. For the 100% ownership and partial ownership streams, you may start a business venture in PEI or purchase an existing qualified business. You will be required to have an interview with the Office of Immigration. If you pass the interview, you must submit your business plan and get it approved. You must demonstrate your intention to live and work in PEI and provide day-to-day activity and ongoing management details of your company from PEI. It is required to sign an escrow agreement with the province and submit a 200,000 Canadian dollars deposit. 50,000 Canadian dollars corresponds to a residency portion, which will be refunded in 2 parts at 2 different times. 25,000 Canadian dollars after you reside in PEI for 6 months, and 25,000 Canadian dollars after you reside in PEI for 1 year. The other 150,000 Canadian dollars corresponds to the business portion, and will be refunded after you meet the terms and conditions of your escrow agreement, including operating your business for a minimum of 12 consecutive months. For the work stream, you must be already living and working in PEI and provide day-to-day activity and ongoing management of the PEI-based company. You will be required to attend an interview and, if successfully passed, submit a business plan. You will sign a performance agreement. You will be requested to submit a letter providing a legal opinion, written by a Canadian lawyer, stating that your application meets the IRCC regulations and IRPA 87. After this is received by our office, you will be issued a letter of support for a work permit. Once the terms of your performance agreement are met, you will be eligible to get your permanent residency permit. To keep your permanent residency status, You must physically be in Canada at least 730 days 2 years in a 5-year period. Failure of your business will not affect your permanent resident status. After 5 years holding the permanent residency status, you will be eligible to apply for citizenship, provided that you have lived 1,095 days in Canada within the 5 years, and 183 days during each of 3 calendar years, that are fully or partially within the 6 years right before the date you apply. To apply for citizenship, you must also have met your personal income tax filing obligations in 3 years, that are fully or partially within the 5 years right before the date you apply. You must also take a language, French or English, test, and pass an exam regarding Canadian values, history, symbols, institutions, rights, responsibilities, and privileges of citizenship. Requirements: A. Score a minimum of 50 points on the Business Impact Self-Assessment. B. Have a minimum verifiable personal net worth of 600,000 Canadian dollars, which has been accumulated through legal and legitimate sources in your own right. C. Have a minimum education of high school equivalent. D. Be within 21 to 59 years of age at the time of application. E. Have transferable management skills and past employment or business ownership experience. F. Meet minimum language requirements, equivalent to a band score of 4.0 on an IELTS test. G. Business plan including company overview, product services, industry analysis, and competitive landscape, marketing plan, management team and staffing, applicant's role in the business, historical financial statements, if purchasing a business, and financial projections prepared by a qualified accountant, if starting a business. Documents required: A. Certified copy of passport. B. Evidence of language skills. C. Letter of support of designated entity. D. Original or certified copy of birth certificate, if applicable. E. Original or certified copy of marriage certificate, if applicable. F. Certified copy of ID card. G. Evidence of residential address. H. Affidavit of support for dependents. I. Original police clearance certificate. J. 2 passport-size photos. K. Bank statement. L. Original bank reference letter, not older than 6 months. M. Proof of net wealth. N. Statement of source of funds. O. Evidence of business background. P. Curriculum vitae. Q. Professional and academic certificates. R. Medical certificate. 2. Quebec business people. Under the Business People Program, foreign nationals, together with their dependents, may obtain a permanent residence permit if they make an investment in the state. There are 3 streams: the entrepreneur stream, the self-employed workers stream, and the investor stream. There are a maximum number of applicants received. The investor program will receive 1,900 between September 10, 2018 and August 31, 2019. The entrepreneur program will receive 60 applicants, 25 for Stream 1, 35 for Stream 2, between August 15, 2018 to October 31, 2019. To be eligible for the investor program and obtain a permanent residency permit, you must intend to settle in Quebec and sign an agreement to invest 800,000 Canadian dollars with a financial intermediary, broker or trust company authorized to participate in the program. The investment of 800,000 Canadian dollars must be for a 5-year term and will be guaranteed by the Gouvernement du Québec. At the end of the 5-year term, the broker or trust company will, within 30 days, reimburse you 800,000 Canadian dollars without interest. However, the amount may vary if you secured financing for the investment. To keep your permanent residency status, you must physically be in Canada at least 730 days 2 years in a 5-year period. Failure of your business will not affect your permanent resident status. After 5 years holding the permanent residency status, you will be eligible to apply for citizenship, provided that you have lived 1,095 days in Canada within the 5 years, and 183 days during each of 3 calendar years, that are fully or partially within the 6 years right before the date you apply. To apply for citizenship, you must also have met your personal income tax filing obligations for 3 years that are fully or partially within the 5 years right before the date you apply, and you must take a language, French or English, test, and pass an exam regarding Canadian values, history, symbols, institutions, rights, responsibilities, and privileges of citizenship. Requirements: A. Have, alone or with your spouse, net assets of at least $1,600,000 Canadian dollars obtained legally. B. Have experience in management in a legal farming, commercial or industrial business, or in a legal professional business, where the staff, excluding you, occupies at least the equivalent of 2 full-time jobs, or for an international agency or a government, or one of its departments or agencies. Documents required: A. Certified copy of passport. B. Evidence of language skills. C. Letter of support of designated entity. D. Original or certified copy of birth certificate, if applicable. E. Original or certified copy of marriage certificate, if applicable. F. Certified copy of ID card. G. Evidence of residential address. H. Affidavit of support for dependents. I. Original police clearance certificate. J. 2 passport-size photos. K. Bank statement. L. Original bank reference letter, not older than 6 months. M. Proof of net wealth. N. Statement of source of funds. O. Evidence of business background. P. Curriculum vitae. Q. Professional and academic certificates. R. Medical certificate. S. Investment agreement. 3. Startup visa program. The Startup Visa is a permanent residence permit granted to entrepreneurs who start a business venture in Canada. To be eligible for this visa, your Canadian company must have the support of a designated organization. Support can assume the following forms: A. Agreement with an authorized venture capital firm to invest a minimum of 200,000 Canadian dollars in your business, or B. Agreement with an authorized angel investor to invest a minimum of 75,000 Canadian dollars in your business, or C. Your business has been accepted in an authorized business incubator. The designated organization that supports your business will provide you a letter of support, which has to be attached to your permanent residency application. Up to 5 people may apply for a startup visa as owners of a single business. However, you must hold at least 10% of the qualifying business and the designated organization, and the applicants must jointly hold more than 50% of the voting rights in the business. To keep your permanent residency status, you must physically be in Canada at least 730 days 2 years in a 5-year period. Failure of your business will not affect your permanent resident status. After 5 years holding the permanent residency status, you will be eligible to apply for citizenship, provided that you have lived 1,095 days in Canada within the 5 years, and 183 days during each of 3 calendar years, that are fully or partially within the 6 years, right before the date you apply. To apply for citizenship, you must also have met your personal income tax filing obligations in 3 tax years that are fully or partially within the 5 years right before the date you apply, and you must take a language, French or English, test, and pass an exam regarding Canadian values, history, symbols, institutions, rights, responsibilities, and privileges of citizenship. Requirements: A. In addition to the above requirements, you must prove that you have enough money to support yourself and your dependents. For a single applicant, the amount required is 12,300 Canadian dollars. For a 2-member family, 15,312 Canadian dollars. 3-member CAD, 18,825. 4-member, 22,856 Canadian dollars. 5-member $25,923 Canadian dollars. 6-member $29,236 Canadian dollars. And for a 7-member family $32,550 Canadian dollars. For each additional dependent, you will be required to have $3,314 Canadian dollars. B. If you are not an English or French native speaker, you must take a language test from an approved agency and include the results with your application. C. You must be in good health and do not have any contagious disease. You must have a clean criminal background. Documents required. A. Certified copy of passport. B. Evidence of language skills. C. Letter of support of designated entity. D. Original or certified copy of birth certificate, if applicable. E. Original or certified copy of marriage certificate, if applicable. F. Certified copy of ID card. G. Evidence of residential address. H. Affidavit of support for dependents. I. Original police clearance certificate. J. 2 passport-size photos. K. Bank statement. L. Original bank reference letter, not older than 6 months. M. Proof of net wealth. N. Statement of source of funds. O. Medical certificate. 2. Applicant's nationality requirements. 1. Restricted nationalities. No nationality is officially restricted. 2. Dual citizenship. Dual citizenship is recognized in Canada. You are not required to renounce your previous nationality to become a citizen of Canada. 3. Taxes, for reference only, cannot be construed as tax advice. There are several factors that determine an individual's tax residency in Canada, such as having a permanent domicile in the country, or having business or social ties to the country. In any case, an individual who spends 183 days or more per year in the country may be considered a tax resident. Tax residents are subject to federal income tax and provincial territorial income taxes on their worldwide income. Non-residents are taxed on their income and capital gains derived from Canada. Federal income tax is progressive, ranging from 15% to 33%. Each territory or province levies its own income tax. Both taxes combined create effective tax rates, ranging from 48% in Saskatchewan and Yukon to 54% in Nova Scotia. 50% of capital gains are included in taxable income and taxed at applicable tax rates. Non-eligible and eligible dividends from Canadian corporations are grossed up by 17% and 38%, respectively. Eligible dividends are those from Canadian public corporations, or those from entities that are not controlled private corporations. Interest and rental income are treated as ordinary income. Municipalities levy property taxes and land transfer taxes. There is no inheritance tax, however. An individual who dies is deemed to have disposed of any capital property immediately before death. This can result in any accrued capital gains being subject to income tax. And all provinces and territories impose probate fees or administrative charges for probating a will. There is no tax on net wealth in Canada. The Federal Goods and Services Tax, GST, applies on most goods and services and is levied at a rate of 5%. British Columbia, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan each levy retail sales tax at 7%, 8%, and 5%, respectively. New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, Ontario, Prince Edward Island have a fully harmonized sales tax that includes the GST. The tax rate is 15%, except in Ontario where it is 13%. Quebec's sales tax is 9.975%, resulting in an effective tax rate of 14.975%. Neither Alberta, Northwest Territories, Nunavut, and Yukon levy a retail sales tax. However, the GST is applicable in those jurisdictions. Regarding corporate taxation, resident entities are subject to federal and provincial taxes on their worldwide income. The federal tax standard rate is 15%, whereas provincial tax rates range from 11% to 15%. Finally, there is no best immigration program, only the most suitable immigration program. There are also some other contents and projects that cannot be elaborated on here, due to review policies, word count, and time constraints. Interested friends can contact me to obtain them. Thank you all for watching the video.